Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughan Manor, where Roger and I have returned for just a little video today where Roger and I are going to try to organize some of my vintage science fiction books. We're going to go through several boxes of vintage science fiction and organize it a little bit because it's all a big, horrible mess. Now, when I talk about vintage science fiction, I'm talking about books like this one, this old Ace edition of Armageddon 2419 AD, Armageddon 2419 AD, by Philip Francis Nolan, the original Buck Rogers novel. This is the original Buck Rogers novel. And it's a vintage science fiction book, and I've got a lot of vintage science fiction books like this. A lot of them. And they've been existing in these weatherproof boxes that I've had stored away in the vault of ancient science fiction below the manor, guarded by robotic guardians who will slaughter anyone who tries to sneak in and steal my vintage science fiction. Oddly enough, nobody ever has. Weird, considering, they're the most valuable thing in the universe. I don't know. But they're all safe and sound. Thank you, robotic guardians. So one thing that's been happening over here at the manor for, it seems like forever. We've been having construction done here at the manor. And it looks like it's finally all done. I mean, hopefully there's not going to be any reason for the lady of the manor to think up new construction jobs. I'm hoping that it's completed. And very soon, it looks like, I will be able to actually take the vintage science fiction out of their many boxes and, maybe put them on bookshelves or something. That would be nice. But I can see that day coming in the future. The problem is that they are all completely disorganized I have them all in boxes, but it's all random. And so I don't have, I have several books, for example, by Clifford Disamac, and several books by Heinlein, and several books by Asimov. But they're all mixed up in all of these different boxes, right? And they're books that are in maybe a series or something, and they're all mixed up. I have ace doubles everywhere, and they're not all together like they should be. They're just not organized at all. Like the anthologies are all spread out through all of the boxes. So I was thinking I would like to get this somewhat organized before, at least by author, get all the books by one author together and all the anthologies together. I'd like to get them organized in some way before I actually try to put them out, so that it's not just a horrible nightmare all at once, because it's a lot. It's a lot of books. And so I thought what I would do was I would take several boxes at once, pile them up in the parlor over there, and just lay them all out on the floor and go through them all. And if I have doubles, I have a double of, this is a double right here. If I have doubles of certain ones, I could take those out. If there are books in there that don't really belong in there. I have a lot of horror, I think, mixed up in the vintage science fiction. So I could put those aside to put in a different place. Things like that. Things like that. So yeah, that's my project for today. And I will film all of the exciting highlights. Nothing but pulse-pounding excitement over here at Vaughan Manor. Every minute it's a new adventure. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And hopefully it won't be a huge, gigantic, time-consuming disaster, which it probably will be. So yeah, let me film that. So I'm going to start off small here and just do today the stuff that's actually in the house. The stuff that's in the vault, that's going to take some more work. So I'll just do this stuff, the stuff that's actually in the manor first, and just see how it goes. And then I will separately do the other stuff.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unbox everything and kind of just put piles of this stuff on the carpet and then just go through it and separate it out and separate all the anthologies and the different authors and just see what I come up with and see how many. I don't know if I have too many doubles here in the house, but we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. Okay, I've got some of these. Well, I've got everything out of the boxes now, and I've piled it all on the floor so that I can go through it. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it might be, and I can already see, you know, one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because of stuff like this book, Wolf's Head, which is Robert E. Howard, and that belongs with my Robert E. Howard books. And so I'm gonna want to take that out of the vintage science fiction and put it someplace else. I should probably take the other stuff that's obviously horror out, but here's the thing about genre. Sometimes it's tricky. Like Fritz Leiber, that's definitely horror. And then we've got this great book, Charles Beaumont, Night Ride and Other Journeys, which is, horror and fantasy, that kind of thing. Beaumont was just great. And then we have obvious fantasy, like the Sword and Sorcery of John Jakes, Brack the Barbarian. I have the Brack the Barbarian trilogy here. I don't know if he wrote more than 3 Brack books, but I have them, right? Yeah, I have at least 3 Brack books. So, and this just is a wonderful cover. Look at that. Andre Norton's The Last Planet. So, I'm not sure if I'll take the horror out right now or not. I have to think about it, but I'm definitely going to take the Robert E. Howard out. And and then I've got some oversized paperbacks down there, and I've got the hardcovers over here in the corner. But most of this is paperback. I have to worry about running out of room while I do this. Oh man, so this is a lot of books. So over here we have some anthologies, some paperback anthologies over there in the corner. We have some books where I only have like one book to an author for whatever reason in this stack. All of these over here are ace doubles. I'll probably do a video just on the ace doubles here. And then I've got the author I seem to have the most in this bunch of boxes anyway is Heinlein. All this is Heinlein here. More Heinlein in this bunch than Asimov. And I didn't have as much Clifford Disamac as I thought I had here. But I do have some Samac. I've got a lot of John Brunner for some reason. And Andre Norton. Got quite a bit of Norton in this little stack. Van Vogt, and there's some old Ray Bradbury paperbacks. So some cool stuff in here. I'll take a closer look here. Didn't have as much Clark as I thought in this batch. So got Childhood's End there, Rendezvous with Rama. Which one is this one? Expedition to Earth, 11 fine science fiction stories. Of course, 2001, have to have 2001 A Space Odyssey. That's essential. And this beat up old one is The City and the Stars, Time Probe, The Sciences and Science Fiction. So that's interesting. And The Sands of Mars. So those are all the ones I have in the house. So for Ray Bradbury, I've got The Illustrated Man in hardcover. Then I've got this old copy of Fahrenheit 451. I've got The Golden Apples of the Sun, The October Country, more Golden Apples of the Sun, Dandelion Wine, The Martian Chronicles, and this one, which I just got, and I don't have a lot of block in this pile of boxes, but I do have Bradbury, so I'll just keep these with the Bradbury. And this is Block and Bradbury anthology that David Wiley just sent me with stories from both of these guys, so that was pretty cool. I have to say, this might be my favorite thing out of all of this, just because It's such a cool copy of Who Goes There, which of course became The Thing by John W. Campbell Jr. So that's just so cool. For Heinlein, I seem to have an awful lot in this set of boxes. I've got Red Planet there. I've got Assignment to Eternity. Starship Troopers, of course. Methuselah's Children, I've got that. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Of course, Stranger in a Strange Land. Pucain of Mars. I've never read that one. Friday. Tunnel in the Sky. That one has seen better days, this particular book. Revolt in 2100. I have that one. The Puppet Masters, of course. Red Planet. I've got Red Planet. I'm knocking things over. Assignment to Eternity. The Number of the Beast. This is not the most popular one from what I've heard. More Assignment in Eternity. You got to have lots of Assignment in Eternity, I guess. Beyond This Horizon. Tomorrow the Stars. Look at that guy. Tomorrow the Stars. That's a cool one. Then we've got The Menace from Earth. The Green Hills of Earth. The Puppet Masters. And Beyond This Horizon. So there you go. I have all the Lensman books in these two volumes, these hardcover book club volumes. Chronicles of the Lensman, Volume 1 and 2, and I've never read them. So I'm wondering if I should read these. Well, I have to read these, because I have to read all of my vintage science fiction. But how soon should I read these? Are these must-reads? I've heard a lot about them. I've never read them. I don't think I have any doubles, unlike with the Heinlein. I don't think I have any doubles with Isaac Asimov. So we got The Naked Sun there. The Caves of Steel. So we got the robot stuff. The Martian Way, I, Robot, Robots and Empire, The Complete Robot, View from a Height, Pebble in the Sky. I know I've got more than one of this. Yes, here's another copy of Pebble in the Sky. Then we've got Lucky Star and the Rings of Saturn, and The Robots of the Dawn. And I guess I don't have any of the Foundation novels in here, probably because I have them all in the library in the other room. And like I said, not too much in this box for Clifford Disamac. I've got City, my favorite science fiction novel is City, a fix-up novel, and I love this edition, this Ace edition. I just love this cover, so it's fantastic. So we've got City, we've got Time and Again, Ring Around the Sun, The Goblin Reservation, another copy of City. That's a good cover too. Worlds Without End, and The Werewolf Principle. I have a surprising number of books in this set, in these boxes, from Murray Leinster, the dean of science fiction. The World is Taboo, Operation Terror, Miners in the Sky, Checkpoint Lambda, The Time Tunnel. Anybody catch that awesome show, The Time Tunnel? That was great. And of course, Forgotten Planet, which was part of Roger's Cheap Old Book Club. We've got The Planet Explorer. We've got The Brain Stealers, Creatures of the Abyss, and Monsters and Such. I also found in this bunch of boxes some cool anthologies, some cool old hardcover anthologies. I've got a million paperback anthologies. Those will probably get a video all on their own. But this is a treasury of great science fiction, which was, if I'm remembering right, was part of the Science Fiction Book Club. They did this 2-volume treasury of great science fiction. This is volume 1. I have volume 2. Volume 2 is in better shape than volume 1. And before the Golden Age, which was put together by Isaac Asimov, collected with autobiographical introductions by Isaac Asimov. So that's cool. Startling Stories, compiled by Samuel Mines. This was British, I think. I think that was a British one. And then we've got What's Left. We've got What's Left of Science Fiction of the 30s by Damon Knight. This thing is, this thing's had it, man. That thing's had it. That poor dust jacket. Then we have this clearance item, A Century of Science Fiction, 1950 to 1959. A science fiction argosy edited by Damon Knight. This is really big. This is really big, but that's cool. And then we have an omnibus of science fiction in this collection of boxes. And of course, the Science Fiction Hall of Fame. This was when Tor reprinted these in hardcover. So we've got the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, Volume 2B. Do we have Volume 2A? Yeah, that's Volume 2A. And Volume 2B. And there were more of these, but I think Tor, if I'm right, I think Tor only reprinted these 3. Also found some horror anthologies, which I'll do a video on. It's kind of, I knew I had some horror in there. So have some horror anthologies. There's some just fantasy stuff that was in there. I was really happy to find these. Lord Dunsany. These are the the Ballantine adult fantasy editions of Lord Dunsany. I've got At the Edge of the World, The King of Elfland's Daughter, Beyond the Fields We Know, and Over the Hills and Far Away. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know I had all of those, so that's cool. That was a cool find. So this is incomplete. I ran out of time. I simply ran out of time. But I should have enough time to put them in the boxes in order, but I didn't have time to alphabetize anything. So I'm going to have to go back and do this all over again. But at least all of the authors are together. So I have all, John Brunner together, and Robert Silverberg is together, and Philip Jose Farmer, which I have more of his books than I thought. And of course, all the ace doubles are together now, so that is cool. So I accomplished something.
Okay, it is done. We did it, Roger. We did. I don't know that we did it because I'm filming this before but this is, there you go. If you saw anything between what I last recorded and this, that means that at least I made the attempt. So yeah, there you go. A bunch of vintage science fiction books lying all over the carpet and me, rummaging through them. I'm sure it must have been terribly exciting. It must have been. It's thrilling just to think about. Okay, guys, that was today's video. I will catch you next time.